Yo, welcome everybody to Vibes and Stuff. Vibes and Stuff is our lifestyle channel where we come to have conversations about things that make sense in our world, right? Sometimes the topics be kind of heavy. Like last week, we spoke about race, right? Last week, we spoke about race. This week, we'll talk about something a little more light. We're going to talk about cool and the absence thereof. So I want to ask you, the viewer, are you cool? Right? Do you know what cool is? Or are you in the swag generation where you don't have to personally be cool? Like you don't have to impress people with your personality, you impress them with stuff. And there is a difference between impressing people with who you are and what you can do and what you have. So there was a time when in the absence of stuff, you had to impress people with your personality and the things that you could do, right? And I'll start this off because I have guests here that I want to bring on, and the conversation I already know is going to be off the chain to say the least. But I'll start by telling the story, right? When I was 12, there was a chick up the street from me, about three houses up the street from me, and she was beautiful to me, right? She was beautiful. Her name was Lisa. Lisa, she had her family had moved down the street 3 blocks. Then think about the destiny. Her family moved three houses up the street from me from Puerto Rico, right? I had no idea what a Puerto Rico was, right? I had no idea. All I knew was that she, to my eyes, was beautiful. And at the time I met her, she could speak English some, but you can tell that Spanish was her primary language, right? And when she recognized me, she knew I can speak English, but street was my primary language, right? So when I met her, I told her, "Hey Lisa, listen. So at the time I'm 12, just turned 12. I mean, just turned 12. So this is like maybe March, almost spring. So I had been 12 maybe like 2 months. I was like, Lisa, listen, you are going to be my girl. And Lisa said to me, Uncle Freezy, you're 12. You don't understand women. I said, and I told her, Lisa's 16. I was like, Lisa, I understand women so much that I have them, right? So she was like, what do you mean you have them? I was like, I have women everywhere, right? So she said to me, listen, it's gonna Uncle Freezy, I like you. You're cute. You're a cute little fella. I'm like, hey, Lisa, I'm 12. I'm a man. I'll be 13 next year, girl. So she said to me, like, but I'll be 17 next year. And you at 13, you won't understand a woman's needs, right? And I was like, Lisa, this is Uncle Freezy you talking to. I understand a woman's needs. I'm 12. I'll be 13 next year, girl. What's wrong with you? Listen, hear me out. So she says, Uncle Freezy, you and I could be friends, but we can't ever be more than that. Not until we grow up. And I was like, well, what is it going to take me? What is it going to take for us to be a couple right now? And she says, Uncle Freezy, it's going to take a miracle. And I was like, hey, I'm not, hey, listen, I'm not Jesus. I'm not these guys from the Bible. I don't do miracles and stuff. But look at Uncle Freezy in the flesh. How can you turn this down? How can Uncle Freezy not be appealing to you? She's like, Uncle Freezy, you're 12. And for us to be together and be serious, It's going to take a miracle. So I went away that day. I told my uncle, I was like, Unc, listen, I'm trying to make this girl up the street be my girl. She's 16. My uncle Tom, he says, hey, my Uncle Pumpkin, that's what we call him Uncle Pumpkin. Uncle Pumpkin says, hey man, you know you 12 years old? And I was like, shit, I know that, Unc. I've been 12 for about 2 months. I've been 12 about 2 months, man. He's like, yo, that girl 16, she ain't looking for nobody like you. And I was like, yo, do you know who you talking to? You talking to Uncle Freezy, baby. And so I said, hey, listen, I asked like, what would it take for me and her to be together? So I tell Unc was like, I got something to get y'all together, right? Right. So I go back to Lisa. Like a week later, I see Lisa. Like, Lisa, what's good? You ready to be my woman? She's like, so she tells me, Uncle Freezy, we can be friends, but we can't be more than that. I'm too old for you. Didn't I tell you it was gonna take a miracle? And so I'm like, what you drinking? She like, water. I'm drinking water. I'm like, really? Is that water in that cup? So she asked me, ha ha ha, what you gonna do? Turn this water into wine? And I'm like, yeah, that's funny, right? I'm not a miracle worker like that, but that was really cute. So I'm like, what you got in your cup? She's like, I got water. I was like, well, give me some, right? So she give me the cup, right? I look in the cup and I was like, Lisa, you know what you got in here? Lisa was like, yeah, it's water in here. So I take the whole cup of water and pour it on the ground and I walk on it, right? I give her the cup back. She's like, what you do with my water? Why'd you pour it on the ground? And I told Lisa, you told me it was gonna take a miracle, right? She was like, yeah. So why'd you pour my water on the ground? And I was like, so that I can walk on water. Now you my girl. So I pulled off a miracle right there in front of Lisa. I walked on water in front of Lisa, and Lisa was my girl, right? I did that, right? Because I maintained my cool throughout, right? Because I know what I wanted, right? I walked on water in front of Lisa. Right now, did I owe her a Pepsi? Yes, I went to the store and bought her a Pepsi after that. But we walked to the store holding hands, right? All my homeboys on the street was like, yo, I saw Uncle Freezy holding hands with Lisa from up the street. And my awkward friends, and when you're 12, you know you have awkward friends. My homeboy Keith from across the street, he was my best friend at the time, right? He walked over, he was like, yo, you holding hands with fine Lisa from up the street. And Lisa looked at me and was like, see what I mean, Uncle Freezy? This is why. I was like, hey, when you're a couple, ain't you supposed to kiss? So she pulled me close to her, tight, and French kissed me in front of Keith from across the street. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you, right? I was cool until then, right? I was like, whoa, I just French kissed somebody. I ain't never kissed a girl before, not like this. But I kept my cool though, right? I went to the store, we was holding hands. I started talking with a little bit of bass in my voice. You know, hey, what's up, fellas? What's good? Talking to everybody, you know what I'm saying? My main man, Phaser D, he was like my mentor in these streets. Phaser D and Born Supreme, they was like my mentors in the street. They stopped me from doing stupid stuff all the time. They saw me with Puerto Rican Lisa from up the street holding hands. Phaser D walked by me and he was like, good job, big dog. And he just kept on going. So, hey, my man Born Supreme, he saw me with Puerto Rican Lisa from up the street. He was like, yo. And that was enough validation for me. You know what I'm saying? I had did something that I felt like was cool. Now, did this thing last? No, it didn't last because all the stuff that Lisa was saying to me was actually true, right? But when you young, when you adolescent, a whole summer. So this is like a relationship, like a summer thing. This lasted like 3 months. Me holding hands, her hugging me. You know what I'm saying? I'm 12. I'm a man. Me buying hot stuff off the ice cream truck with the ice cream truck come. You know what I'm saying? You know, things of that sort. See that in my mind, in my mind, that was cool. I don't know if cool has value nowadays like it did back then. Now, with all that said, I'm gonna bring in my guys. Fellas, what's good? So I got my main man, Ron from Still Knicks Fans. Got Hector, Project Nerd in the building. Cash, Sir, as usual. Staffer Don, what's good?
Salute.
So
Salute,
happening?
salute,
What
salute,
happening?
salute. Yes, sir. We here.
so Cash, what I usually do, like I be around young fellas, right? I be around young fellas. They young fellas, they be about 20, 25. Like when the women walk out the store, they be by their car bumping their music or revving their engine on their joint or whatever, out there. I be like, yo, that ain't even cool. And they be like, Uncle Freezy, why you always act like ain't nobody as cool as you? And I tell them like, I tell them, I be like, because y'all don't have no game, right? Just because your car fast and got fancy rims, don't mean that lady race cars. If I was y'all, I would go over there and holler, spit that game, right? And they like, nah, man, I got rims on my car. They gonna come holler at me. And so I'm paused with that because maybe I'm from a different generation. But back in the 70s, you had to have game in order to be cool. So I'm asking you, Cash, do you have to have game nowadays to be a hit with the women?
I'm married now, but
oh yeah. I ain't trying to get you in trouble.
Right, but I'm in tune. I got little nephews and stuff like that. I don't think so, brother. I think it's more like I think when you say game, I consider it like a mental thing, as far as being able to speak to someone in a way that stimulates other things and able to tap into other parts of that person's self or whatever. And I don't think these kids today, I think they're more visual today. I think it's more Instagram. What am I wearing, or I think that's more attractive now than just being able to talk to a young lady the right way, or making her feel good about the day, and then potentially leading that thing into some other ways,
Right. Yeah, I think I agree with you, Cash. I think that today's time and way things are, it seems like people are very like, I don't know. I'm thinking about it, like if I was young, I don't know how I'd rock today, man. Everything's materialistic.
That's what I say.
The dudes got to have their stuff together. You got to have the right look. You got to have the vision. They need to know your 5-year plan, where you at with it, like.
Right.
Hey, Ron,
I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Bad for kids in high school, because there's some kids in high school that's breaking out Rolexes and cars and doing things. It's so much going on today.
Right.
Like, there's no it's like, how do you find your niche?
Hey man. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Hector.
No. I'll make it real quick to both points. I disagree, because I just think it's the game, or quote unquote the game or whatever. It's just evolved. So if you look at today's day and age, right, the Instagram and the Facebook, however you want to do it, the TikTok, the clothes and everything like that. That's just on a different scale to what Freezy brought up as his first example, when he talked about the car and having the fancy rims and it was all like to impress from a materialistic standpoint, right? So back then it was on a smaller scale. It's just today's day and age is on a bigger scale. Like, You know, Cash brings up the example that kids nowadays is in school with Rolex. I remember when I was in junior high school and high school, people came with the gold fangs to school. People came with beepers. People came with cell phones, right when cell phones was popping off and stuff. My sister as well. She's a bit older than me, but when she was in high school, it was the nameplates, the gold. Like all these things have been around, but it's just on a bit of smaller scale. Now it's just hyping, and the fact that everybody now has phones and the access to technology is just so much easier. It's just on a wider scale.
But heck, check this out, right? Like when I was younger, like I used to get played because I was quiet, and chicks would try to
Same
dig
me,
into
but
that.
the cool kid in your school, how was he dressing? I wasn't dressing like I was. I used to get picked on because I was the
Yeah, me
quiet
too.
kid that played Pokemon and Digimon. Like that's why I was picked on.
Dude, I was playing Magic. I was playing
Yeah, but I'm talking about the
Pokemon, all
cool
that.
kid. I'm talking about the
Oh,
cool kid in your school.
the cool kid. He had on the North Face, the Jordans. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The Pepe jeans, Pele
Mm-hmm.
jackets, and all of that. And me, I was a little envious because I'm like, it's so easy for y'all, man.
Right. So y'all saying y'all come from the swag era. Y'all from the swag era.
No, I feel it's the swag era has always been around, like ever for the longest. Like even in the 70s, even in the 60s. Like if you look at some old high school pictures, like some of those young folks back in those days, they knew how to dress.
Right.
Yo,
Nah, it was
I used to. I'm sorry, guys. I used to
nah,
dig
I
in
was
my
Yeah.
pop's closet. I used to dig in my pop's stuff. He had like all the jerseys. My pops was a vet, so he had so much stuff he never wore. At one point, I was like, you know what? I don't think nobody buying me no new stuff, so I'm gonna just try to dig in the crates right now,
Hey, I
and
know
and,
that
and,
feeling,
that,
bro.
and that worked at that time
No, I know
right.
that feeling,
because
bro.
it was
I
like
went
it
through. I
was
went
individuality was very major.
Cash, but
Like,
I agree with you because I know what you're talking about. Because when I was in the eighth grade, right, I went to 258 out in Brooklyn and stuff, but I moved back to Brooklyn, right? So I was in 258 with one pair of New Balance sneakers and one pair of denim and Dickie pants for a whole school
mhm,
year. So I
mhm.
know what you're talking about, bro. Having to be that kid to have to use a toothbrush and a bar of soap to clean your white sneakers every night. Trust me,
Yeah,
I know that feeling.
Right. Right. I feel you. I feel both of y'all. I just think both of y'all are nerds.
Well, it is
yeah,
in my
yeah. Pretty
name.
much, pretty much,
Yeah.
Not
pretty much.
and listen and that's not to try to embarrass or you know say something crazy about my friends, man. What I'm saying is you got to know who you are as a person. You know what I'm
You what?
saying?
Hmm.
As you step out and y'all know who y'all are. So
Hmm.
that's one step in the right direction. But
That's
like from where I was from, like during my era, see, we didn't have a lot of stuff either, right? But the main thing was looking cool, being cool. See, I come from the Cooley High days, so to speak. That was like the days right before I so everybody, you know what I'm saying, you had to be, you know what I'm saying, you had to be cool. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no and you can't slip and fall in front of nobody because if you did, your reputation would ruin.
you
You know
gotta
what I'm saying?
Hmm.
fight.
Yeah, yeah. Like with me, it was about like being around your boys and who had the best stories.
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you get around your boys and they'll be like, yo. And this is Booger eager to talk to. It's like, I bumped. They'd be like, yo, I bumped into Lakeisha in Food Town. Man, she's so soft. And everybody and your boys would be like, where you bumped into her? You copped the feel? You're like, yeah, it was accidental, but it felt so good, bro. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, yo. And yeah, my man not Freaky, but my man Keith from across the street told us that one time. We were sitting on the stoop. He's like, I bumped into her, bro. She's so soft, man. I felt like I had to smoke a cigarette after that.
You
You
sound
know
like
what I'm saying?
you sound like you was one of those kids in the Sandlot. That's what that is, Freezy. That from that movie, The Sandlot. That's you was one of those little rascals running around.
That was purity. That was freedom.
Yeah, but
It
not.
was just kids being kids.
Yeah, it's the adolescence, like the stuff that you go through and because when you 9-10 years old, you kind of talk that, but you don't feel it. But by the time you get 12, 13, your hormones start kicking in, whatever. Now you like, yo, no, she fine for real. Right, she fine for real. I think I might wife her. This you at 11. You 11, like, yo, I think I might wife her, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're like, nah, bro, nah. And especially, okay, let me, I got it. So I'm gonna tell another story. I promise I'll make it quick. Right. So in 6th grade, I had a crush on this girl that lived like 4 blocks over. But back then, you couldn't just prep the roll and walk on nobody's block because dudes was stupid. What you doing on my block, fool? You know what I'm saying? All kind of, you know. But she was fine though. And her friend Adrian made it slip that she had a crush on me. Right? So now we spend like the next 2 weeks just trying to get away from everybody to talk to each other. So we at lunch, right? And we getting our lunch, and she in line, and I'm coming in, and I got my man Shantae Brown on one side, and my homeboy Will Redden. So Shantae Brown was like the dude from the Bahamas that looked like Philip Michael Thomas from Miami Vice, right? And Will Redden was the Indian dude. He was half Indian, half black. He was the black dude with the good hair, like the gray eyes, the good hair, all that stuff.
He's
So
Afro-Indigenous.
Right. So Shantae Brown was shy, but all the girls had crushes on him, right? Will Redden was not shy, but he didn't have any game, right? And then there's me, right? And so I see her, and they're like, yo, there goes Talia from Fulton Street over there. And I was like, yo, I see her. And she see me and start smiling and look down at her tray. And I'm like, got her. So I take off and I walk over to the lady, and the cafeteria lady, like, and I don't know if y'all dealt with cafeteria ladies back in the 80s, back in the 70s and 80s. But she like, Uncle Freezy,
The 90s.
line. You can't cut line. She lied me out in front of everybody. So I take $1 and I put it on the thing. I was like, nah, Miss Pam, I'm just paying for her stuff. I'm just paying for her stuff, right? And I was like, yo, can I walk you to your table? And she was like, nah, I'm good. I can go by myself. And I asked her, but do you want to go by yourself? And she laughed, right? So I walk with her to her table, and we sit down, and no lie, her friends come over and sit between me and her, and my friends come over and sit between me and them. And so the whole time I'm looking like, what is, you know? So by the time we shoot a crowd away, right? By the time we shoot a crowd away, the bell ringing, and we got to go to class. She got to go her way, and I got to go my way. So before I could even spit that game, the moment is ruined. And that's one of the first times I learned about the moment, because the moment is real. The moment is real. Like, for those that have never understood what the moment is, the moment is real. Oh, look who I got here. Hey, man. Hey, what's up, Mr. Jameson? How you doing?
I'm fine, sir. How you doing?
Good. You got it. You came in just in time. I was telling the parents. Hey, everybody, this is my brother-in-law right here. Corey Jameson. Corey, you want to tell everybody what's up?
Salute,
Hey,
Mr.
how's
Corey.
everyone doing? It's good to see you guys.
Good.
There's so
Yeah,
much.
hey. So we were just talking about being cool in the absence thereof today. I think cool has been replaced by swag. So cool, like, and how I explained it to everybody, cool is that inner confidence and that ability to be cool in the moment, right? It's been replaced by swag, which means all you have to do is have fancy stuff and people will like you, right? So Ron, what happened is so me and that girl Latanya from 4 Streets Over, we had interactions like that for about 2 months, where every time, you know what I'm saying, we crossed paths, somebody showed up and ruined the moment. But we were 12, right? We were 12. And you know how 12-year-olds do. Some 12-year-olds have this weird, awkward energy where it's like they want to do something, they botch it up, and they seem like it's the end of the world. But for me, I felt like this girl Latanya from Fulton Street was worth chasing. So I had to be cool every second. I could never let my guard down, right? I could never let that, because I would only get one opportunity, and if I messed it up, it would be over, right? So fast forward about a month. Oh, let me say this. Mr. Williams, our 6th grade teacher, found a note that Tanya was trying to leave for me, right, in her desk. You know, meet me at such and such place so we can talk and blah blah blah. He found it in her desk, and so he read it. He was like, "Who, Uncle Freezy? This girl leaving for Uncle Freezy? She leaving a note for him?" And so him and the other now mind you, these teachers are like 27, 28 years old. So even though they older, they still got some, you know what I'm saying? So they pulled me to the side and they like, "Yo, I want you to clap some erasers." Right? So I'm like, "Yo, you want me? This is my new shirt." I'm like, "Mr. Williams, I got my new shirt on." He like, "Go outside and clap them erasers." So I go in the courtyard and grab the erasers, go outside. And Corey, you might not understand the clap erasers thing. That might be, you know what I'm saying? But so I go outside to clap the erasers, right? And it's the PE teacher, it's Mr. Williams, and all these dudes. They got them a little clique. They out there smoking cigarettes and whatever. And they like, so I hear you the man. I'm like, man, I'm not the man. I don't know who y'all talking to. I ain't the man. They're like, "Don't be talking to us like that, Uncle Freezy. We adults." And I'm like, "Okay, all right. You the one came to me talking about I'm the man, right?" And so they're like, I hear them little girls. You know what I'm saying? You got a ringer on the little girls. I was like, "Yo, I ain't got nobody. I'm trying to get one." That ain't what I heard, Uncle Freezy. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, Mr. Williams and Hector, this same Mr. Williams was the dude that told me when Clyde Frazier got traded. He the one that made me cry at school when I found out Clyde Frazier got traded. Right? So anyway, he's like, "I tell you what, at the dance, I'm gonna play a joint. I'm gonna get all of them on the dance floor, right? And then I'm gonna just snatch the joint off, and then I'm gonna play this slow joint, and you go ask her to dance. You do know how to go. You do know how to talk to girls, don't you?" I was like, "Mr. Williams, who you think you're talking to, bro?" He's like, "You do know how to talk to girls, right? You scared of girls?" "Nah, bro, I ain't scared of no girls. Man, I got a little sister at home. I got a mama. I ain't scared to talk to no girl. My grandma live upstairs. I ain't scared to talk to no girls." So he was like, so the thing come, and so I got this white suit on, this white leisure suit, this fly peach shirt, make me stand out from everybody, right? Right. So I'm standing out from everybody. So they put this joint all called The Hustle. Everybody going on the floor, do the hustle. The whole 6th grade, everybody doing the hustle. Everybody doing the hustle, right? And
Stop aging yourself, Freezy.
I know, whatever, bro. Just let me tell my story so I can get out the way, right? So here's the thing. So they doing the hustle, and he takes the needle and snatches it off. It's like, and he puts on this song by Earth, Wind, and Fire called "After the Love Is Gone," right? Kids running off the floor, right? So I go to Tanya. I'm like, "Hey, listen, this might be the only moment I get to talk to you, right? And I don't want to waste no words on nothing that I don't have to say. I want to dance with you right now on this song. You coming tonight?" She grabbed my hand. We get on the floor, and we start, bro. And when you're a 12-year-old boy, and you pressed up against a 12-year-old girl,
Man, I feel like
You start feeling stuff that you ain't never felt before, right? Okay, I was cool, right? Until that moment. Right now, I'm like, yo, is this what they was talking about? So now, remember, Ryan, remember when I said, mention the moment about how you got to take advantage of the moment when the time is right and all that stuff? So I'm
Right.
dancing, and I remember my uncles are like, yo, don't try to get all freaky all at once. When you dance with a girl for the first time, just dance with her. You always want to have her imagination going, just like yours. Don't try to put your hands on her butt, bro. Just dance. So I dance, right? I'm just dancing with her. I'm trying to remember the 2-step. 1 step, 2 step, 1 step, 2 step while we dancing. Right? And so the song is about to go off. And so she back up from me and she holding my hand, and Mr. Williams does me the biggest solid somebody ever did for me. He ran it back. He played the same song back to back. So I was like, yo, I pulled it. I'm like, no, come on. And so we dance now. And because when we started dancing, the whole 6th grade was just looking at us in the middle of the floor. We was by ourselves the first time, right? Because 6th grade is like, I ain't dancing no mess like that. But look at Uncle Freezy and Tanya. I didn't even know they liked each other. You know what I'm saying? And so this time they run it back, and I could see my homeboy Will dancing with his girl, and he like, yo, Uncle Freezy, this is fire, bro. Look at her butt. And I'm like, no, don't do that. Go. He like, and my homeboy Shantae is dancing with this girl that had a crush on him, right? And so I see Shantae coming my way. I'm like, no. Y'all stay over there. Don't come over here. And right, they were like, but what? We can dance side by side. I'm like, no, that's all. Stop being a nerd. Just dance over there. And so I'm dancing with, and after the song is over, bro, I'll never forget, after the song is over, I held her hand, and I walked to the table, and I scooped her some Kool-Aid, and we had Kool-Aid afterwards and talked. And that's the first time that in my life that I had ever talked to a girl, and it made sense. But I remained cool, bro. I didn't impress her with no fancy jewelry. I didn't impress her with like a whole bunch of money or none of that stuff. I didn't use swag, bro. I did not use swag. I was just cool. And so the reason why I tell that story is because sometimes I think the lines get blurred between being cool and having swag. And so in my whole life, the most important thing to me was being cool. Now, do I have stuff? I got stuff, bro. I think I drive a halfway decent car. I got a house that's paid off, all that stuff. That's stuff that you could say is swag. But to me, the most important thing was being cool. Right? But for Hector gonna blame me for cool, because it wasn't as cool as Pokemon, and now I'm frustrated.
No. Listen. With those examples that you gave out, right? It makes for a great Disney Channel kids movie. Freezy, you know, there's a perfect Disney Channel kids movie. It had every aspect you needed. It had the Kool-Aid juice. It had the dance. You know, it had you overcoming your fears, dancing. That makes it even better. I'm a push back a little bit. I'm a big fan of the purple Kool-Aid myself. As a kid growing up in a Puerto Rican household, that and that sweet iced tea, Ron, you know what I'm talking about. That is so sweet. It's like that's what I grew up. But I don't know, like it gets blurred because I feel, you know, kids, right, at a very young age, they know what they're into, right? They know what they like, right? They know the stuff that, you know, that they're into. I just feel like society beats it out of them. You know, when you bring up the whole like materialistic and the cool and the swag thing, right? That just comes from this image that kids feel they have to live up to, or that kids feel this is the perfect definition of a man, or this is the perfect definition of a woman. Like society tries tries to paint these perfect images like this is what a man is, point blank period, and this is what a man should do. So kids are like 11 or 12 years old, they get caught in a matrix trying to figure out what are they going to do when they grow up, you know?
Right. I'm talking about the like the little things though, bro. Like
No. I get. I know what you're talking. But one thing, right? Like for me, I should have just expressed it a bit differently. For me, right? I feel that it's unfair pressure when we put on to a kid, especially at a young age, right? Say like if a kid, you know, if you have a nephew or whatever, and he's in the park, right? He's playing with a group of kids. Why is it that when he comes back from playing with those group of kids, an adult wants to ask him, so how many girlfriends you have? You know, how
Yeah.
many little girlfriends you have? That puts an uncomfortable feeling onto the child, like, oh wow, that's how I should interact with them on that level, not on the level that we was just playing tag, you know?
right. Right. So hey, so Ron, Mr. Williams played After the Love Was Gone. That's a song by Earth, Wind and Fire. It came out like 1979, 1980, something like that. Right. And so I had probably heard that song before, right? But I didn't know that song was cool until I got into that moment. Is there like a song that you can remember hearing? Like as soon as you heard it, you're like, hey, that joint's cool right there.
Yeah, well,
Freezy.
I mean, that goes back.
Yo,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, fam.
Oh no, I'm quick. I was just gonna say that brings me back to, I think I mentioned it last time we kind of chopped it up and we're talking about music. I just forgot the damn song. The by Heat Wave.
Always and Forever.
Always and Forever. I heard that. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah. Hey, so
that was it for me too.
yeah, like the joint. You hear that, you like, yo, this song is different. Hey, so Corey, I want to get you get your thoughts on something just real quick. I'm gonna swing to Anthony D right just real quick. So AD, you want to jump in and say something, bro?
Yeah, first I want to apologize. 'Cause I've been in and out of the session, gentlemen. So, you know, my bad, but you know, some things just need to get done. But from what I heard, and excuse me if I'm incorrect, I think you need to redefine cool, what you're saying cool is and what swag is.
Okay. All right. So to me,
You see what I'm saying? Because the reason why I say that is because
let me define it. Let me define it real quick.
Go ahead.
Swag is the presence of stuff that makes you look cool, where cool is a personal confidence, right? If you cool, you don't need none of that stuff. You don't need Jordans. You don't need certain stuff. Cool is the presence of a personal confidence that's going to be unshaken regardless of the moment, right? But swag means, yo, you kind of got a little confidence, but you need your Rolex watch and your Jordans and your gas car and bread to go along with in order for you to be confident. That's my opinion.
I'm supposedly from the swag era, Freeze, but I never looked at it like that. I looked at it as I looked at it as like an elevation. Like I felt at 1 year I was like, damn, I got my swag together. Like it was just like how I walk, how I talk, the gestures I made, how I deal with women. You know, besides the stuff I had on, I think no, but you know what? I did start getting, you know, my own money and getting, you know, purchasing more stuff for myself. That gave me a little more confidence. So that goes hand in hand with it.
So that's swag. So that's swagger.
But I think the swagger is the person, not the stuff.
Yes,
because I disagree with that.
Because and I'm a roll with Cash here for a second, because 14-year-old Freezy it's gonna be a lot different, or maybe not a lot different, because you came out the womb, Uncle Freezy.
I didn't make this name up, bro. This is what they call me.
Then-
Hey, Anthony D, this is what they've been calling me, bro. I don't give my name. Because if I needed a nickname, I'd have been like, yo, my name is Big Swagger. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
bro.
but Freezy is in the Guinness World Records. He's the only baby that was born with a full goatee and a full beard.
I promise you, they didn't get him in a bottle. They gave him in a Colt 45.
Madame Tussauds has a special corner for you at her museum. Swear to God.
Oh, wow. Wow.
But
It's a baby with a mic in front of him. Like
you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I say that to say for my question to your answer to Cash and so forth is you're a lot different as you grow. You see what I'm saying? Younger people do things out of dare or out to impress their immediate peers. But as you're putting things together, you know what I mean? Like I was a letter writer. Early me, I didn't have that confidence like Uncle Freezy to roll up and say, "Hey, I'm Uncle Freezy. I just walked on water. Here's the miracle."
Right.
Like,
Bro,
my confidence came through.
not fire?
Oh, absolutely. But
Okay.
my confidence came through. I could write a 5-page letter. See what I'm saying? Much more than "Will you date me?" Checkbox yes or no. I could literally pen some real stuff.
My
You understand what I'm
Izzy out
saying?
here writing thesis statements. I see you.
Oh.
Izzy.
Oh, and my man and my man D, my man Darren, wherever you are, if you still around with us and you see this, Darren was my
Postman.
mail guy, because Darren used to deliver it for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He used to deliver it and read it.
Everybody,
You know what I'm saying? I
everybody
couldn't
plays a
even
vital
read it.
role.
Absolutely. So that's what I'm saying for you. I think that because by the time I was 21, you understand what I'm saying? Or, well into that, to Cash's point, is like, you got certain things now in place. You know what I mean? Like, your aura matches what's coming out of your mouth. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of understand things a bit more, and as older you get, you start understanding a bit more. So that was my little 2 cents. I don't know if I got off page.
Tony,
I've been in and out.
Because you get more wisdom, you get a little more wordplay, and like I've literally met girls from maybe junior high that I met when I was in high school when I got my swagger together, and it wasn't necessarily the gear, but it was just like you start realizing maybe you could get a nice haircut. You might it's little things that you see you could work with that could work to your benefit, and then you start realizing it rather than when you was a youngin', you ain't know like a girl find you cute or something. You ain't know that. You just like you looking in the mirror every day with pimples on your face, like, oh my God, But then you get,
Hey Corey, we can't hear you. You muted, Corey.
and you get to that point where you like, hold up, okay. It started with my I used to have braces, but I started to go to the front desk, and them chicks in the front desk, they were starting to be like, oh, hey, you looking good. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, really?
So
Yeah.
y'all needed validation for y'all to understand that.
Yes.
I'm
No.
just asking.
No, here's a
did.
piece of where you're missing. Here's a piece where you're missing, Freezy, to your
I just need
your
clarity.
argument. Right. Here's a piece where you're missing to your argument. We had to use the means that we had. Like, by the time you were able to be on the phone longer than 5 minutes for your mom grab the other line and tell you to get off the phone, you understand? By the time you got over that 5 minute get off my phone, I'm waiting for a call thing, and you really could sit on the phone and your lyrical content started to get deeper. Oh my God, your lyrical content started getting real deep. You understand what I'm saying? And you done made that person literally be like, yo, I gotta go do my sister hair, but I'm gonna call you right back. I'm gonna call you back in like 15 minutes because why? Your lyrical content now. You by the time you hung up the phone, you were like, gotta.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that didn't necessarily translate in the physical. You know, all that
Right.
phone talk. We
Right.
used to be flying on the phone. We get in front of them joints, and it'd
You
be
be
like,
nervous
yo.
as hell.
Yeah.
It
You can't put a
But it
verb
gave
in
you
there.
a start though.
That's a fact.
did.
You know, but it gave you that second leg because if you got a phone number, somebody either wrote it on your hand or a little piece of paper, and you had to make sure that the little piece of paper didn't go out with the rest of the lint in your pocket. You have to hold on to it. So then you have to go. Then you have to go actually go put it into because all of us know something that love women is that women want attention.
Right.
Oh my God.
Women want positive attention.
Right.
And if you can somehow bridge that attention and then be able to be a little bit funny or real funny in there with it, and you don't seem like you a total jerk, you're a winner.
All right, yo, dudes was not dudes. I'm not gonna let dudes lie like they wasn't singing on that phone to these girls, you know, to the top R&B song.
Nah, hey, Cash, listen. So my mother and grandmother kept me in church when I was a shorty, right?
Right.
But Miss Green, the choir director, she gave me a solo, right? So I never forget. So I used to do this solo, and my little sister and my little brother used to be. My little brother passed away, man. But my little sister and my little brother, they used to be so jelly, right? Because I would get up there and sing this solo called "Do Lord," right? I get up there and I make sure that I comb my hair back. Cause listen, back in the day, now listen, everybody from every generation gonna pick out like the guys that they like. But I had like a dude from the older generation, right? So I used to see this dude named Jackie Wilson, right? In my mind, Jackie Wilson was the coolest motherfucker. Listen, Jackie Wilson was so cool, you can see it on TV, bro. Like, so I used to get up in front of the church and I used to try to be like, you know what I'm saying? Like Jackie Wilson. You know what I'm saying? I get up there in front of all them girls. And I used to sing a duet with this girl. Right? They used to always match me up with this girl, but whatever. I used to take the mic out the mic stand and turn around and look at the choir and be singing. And Miss Green would be like, Uncle Freezy, turn your ass around. And I turn around and I'll be looking at the church and I'll be trying to sing the look. I wasn't no singer, but I was confident in certain stuff. Like as a man, I'm confident in certain stuff, right? Right? Like I'm not saying that I can do anything or do everything and all that stuff. But when you ask me to do a certain thing I'm confident in, I'm gonna do that. Right? So I used to turn around and look at the choir and I'd be singing that thing. And this group like, turn around, Freezy. And I'd turn around and I'd look at the church and be pointing at the church. And mother would be like, you better stop pointing at the you know, that after the thing be over. And so what I'm getting at is this. When it came time for like to be cool and do the cool stuff, I could do that because I was confident in that stuff. I didn't need the money, bro. I didn't need like the shoes or the fancy watches or none of that stuff. My thing was just I want somebody being cool like Jackie Wilson, and I mimicked it. You know what I'm saying?
Like that.
And then afterwards, the deacons would point at me like, the deacons used to come to me and be like, "Hey, you can't sing worth for nothing, but them little girls sure do love it." I don't know what they seeing that. They be outside smoking their cigarettes, whatever. I'm like, it's because I'm cool, bro. And they're like, "You right, Uncle Freeze. You right."
Freeze, that money factor, that's a today thing, man. I remember it was like you said, you just be cool. Or I remember dude used to be like, yo, look, man. I remember my boy, I thought that was my homeboy. He was like, yo, this chick coming over. Just let me put you in a headlock real quick so she can see. I'm like, what you talking about? It was just like, you just look cool by just like wrestling, fighting, you know, taking somebody. I don't know. It was never about, you know, nobody thought we was gonna be millionaires at 6.
Yeah.
It's actually reality.
First of all, thank you for having me on this
G-Man.
channel. You know what I'm saying?
G-Man.
This is
Yeah,
an all-star
that's good.
channel. You know what I'm saying? And I want to say a special welcome to my man Corey. Salute to you, my brother. It's good to see you. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, gentlemen.
I would say this, gentlemen, and I'm probably and this is probably not a great thing to say, but I'm probably one of the elder statesmen here on this panel, right? So I'm able to take you back in the day to where money wasn't a thing. You know what I'm saying? Your status in life wasn't a thing. It was about how were you able to elevate yourself above the station in which you were surrounded around, right? That's how you stood out amongst the young girl that you wanted to get that attention from, right? To Freeze's point, when you bring up these stories, and that takes me immediately back to the young G-Man growing up and trying to figure out, you know, how do you position yourself to be that person? You know what I'm saying? And as kids grow, especially as young boys, I'm talking preteens. I'm not even talking teenagers. I'm talking preteens. It's awkward. It's very awkward because what you want that female attention, but you don't necessarily know how to go about getting the female attention without being a jerk or coming off as being a jerk or just being that the person that has no clue on how to interact with females, right? And then you got your boys over here, all right, standing next to you that tells you that, you know, at every turn, I'm the ladies' man and I can get any girl that I want. But every time you see them, they're by themselves. And we never put a one-on-one together. Ron is a ladies' man, but every time I see Ron at the speakeasy by himself.
I was more like a lady's friend.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So we had to kind of figure that out. But I think that, you know, growing up, whatever era that you grew up in, one constant remains.
Okay, thank you for your
men, gentlemen, male figures have always had to figure out how to win the eye of the young lady that they were interested in. If that took, you know, to Anthony D's point, if that took you, maybe you were not as skilled with the pen as with the vocab, right? So you had to figure that out. Maybe the person that you were interested in was more interested in a visual where you send her that letter versus spending, you know, hours and hours running up your mama's phone bill, because I was that guy. I spent a lot of time on that phone, boy. And I was lucky because my mother worked second shift.
I don't know how I made it through school them next days, man.
Exactly. But look,
you got till like 5 in the morning.
Hours. This is the crazy part, gentlemen. Think about this for a second. And when I tell you this, I'm going to be able to tell about the reaction on your face. Think about when you were growing up. How much time you spent on the telephone talking to that girl you wanted to get next to. And today, right now, today, you would rather text somebody than have a phone conversation.
Right. Hey, Corey, you want to jump in real quick? You've been here for a while, man. You've been quiet.
Yeah, I was just saying, I just had that conversation last night, and I, you know, I'm the oddball out because I really didn't do it. I hate it. I did it about 2 times. Falling asleep on the phone, listening to each other breathing. So I still kind of have that same thing, short conversation. Let's get to the point. But yeah, I definitely can identify with being on the phone for, man, hours and not saying a word.
Yeah.
So this is a great conversation. I just think a lot of brothers need to jump on and hear what was being said here about the swag and being cool. But I face that every day when the kids come to my office. I'm a behavioral specialist here in Charlotte, and that's one thing that we always talk about. You know, being cool and having swag, and understanding. You know, one is an attitude, and one is a behavior.
Right.
Wait a minute. What you mean? One is the attitude and one is the behavior? What do you mean?
One is an attitude and one is behavior. Like you say, swag is the behavior of what you do and who you are. Like they were saying. The clothes and the stuff doesn't make you have that swag. It's your confidence in who you are and where you're going.
Right.
having that confidence in you, like, hey, this is me. Just like you were saying earlier, Scooter, there's not a lot of things that, you know, I feel very well, I'm confident, but I'm not going to bring it out like I'm overly confident. But coaching is one thing. I feel like, hey, I'm probably one of the best coaches out there.
Okay.
Now, Corey, I'm glad you said that, because I want to
Mhm.
tie in a piece here that we're missing.
Anthony, hold on give me 2 seconds, bro.
Go ahead, fam.
We not finna gloss over what I just heard. We not finna gloss over this right here. Freezy,
What's
is
that?
your nickname Scooter, brother?
No, I'm Uncle Freezy, bro. That's my professional name.
Say what you want, but I heard somebody call you Scooter. And you ain't.
Nah, it's no.
Oh,
Okay.
It's some
apologies, brother. My
It's-
apologies.
it's some other name like Jeremiah, some random ass shit like that. It's not
Yeah.
it's not
I
Scooter.
can tell you, I can put my real name. I can put my real name in the thing right now, but I don't really choose to do all of that stuff, bro. I be wanting to keep it Uncle Freezy here so we can.
I mean, yeah,
Hey,
you
G-
use
hey,
Uncle
hey, G-
Freezy.
Hey G
As an
man, don't make
8-year-old.
me blow up your spot, G man. I know your first name is Ronald. You better stop that shit. Nah, I'm joking.
Don't bring out the
G-Man, I know your first name is Cornelius, bro. Don't get it twisted, man. Don't make me, because you know I have the editing tool. I can put Cornelius up here.
Has anybody seen Low Ranger without the mask on? We can't unmask Uncle Freezy.
Yeah, Uncle Free, I
can't do that.
apologize. Please forgive me for the slip of the tongue.
I don't know what you're saying. I was looking at Pokemon. I swear to God, I don't know. What you're saying.
Yeah, man, I didn't hear anything. I just know. Yeah, I'm gonna tell my friends. Yeah, I know this kid. He was Uncle Freezy at 8.
Uncle
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was born with a goatee and a beard.
Vim. That's just how
That's pretty much so. I met him like, man, 20 some years ago.
Now I know when he was in kindergarten, he just had the mustache. He ain't have the whole thing, right, Corey?
Nah, because
he
it wasn't cool to wear it back then, bro.
Oh, okay, all
Yeah,
right.
I just shaved everything.
He was the kid outside the door IDing the students as they was walking in, right, Corey? Right? Right.
Everybody just saying, man. But
He was
hey,
checking
but-
library cards.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, but and so here's the thing though, to what Corey said, and I think it makes a lot of sense, right? The behavior part is one that none of us necessarily addressed, because I don't know if we actually knew that, right? Because the thing with me is being cool was something that I was taught. You know what I'm saying? It was like legit, you know, hey man, just be cool, man. What you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like I'd be outside breaking beer bottles on the sidewalk, and one of my uncles would be like, man, now who gonna clean it up, man? Chill out. Be cool. Sweep that mess up, man, and stop doing. Don't do. Man, be cool. You ain't got nothing to do. Just go in the house. Why you out here breaking beer bottles on the sidewalk? I ain't got nothing to do. Well, what if somebody get hurt? I ain't thought about that. Man, chill out, bro. Be cool. If you ain't got nothing to do, go in the house and do something. Go in the house and draw. Yeah, I remember when kids used to draw. My uncles and them, they'd be like, man, you ain't got nothing to do. Go in the house and draw something, bro.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Just be
Coloring
cool.
books.
Yeah, or something. Yeah, it's just like just be cool, right? And so I heard that so much that it kind of reinforced this behavior of don't do nothing stupid. Don't get head over heels, right? Don't get outside of yourself, right? Be cool, relax. And then that way, what happened is every time the moment came, the moment was never too big for you, because you always like, hey, just be cool. Just play stuff step by step. You know what I'm saying? One thing at a time, whatever. However you wanna, you know, phrase it, right?
Well,
And so the separation between that and swag, in my opinion, is swag always felt like to me like a reinforcement for your shortcomings. Like if you wasn't bold enough to speak to a girl, then at least you had Jordans on. That's what it felt like to me. Now maybe I'm wrong.
Well, that's a little unfair, Freezy. And here's why I'm saying, to speak to your point and to Corey's point, and the piece that I think we're a part of the whole solution that we're missing here is that, you know, we mimic.
And I
You
would
know what
love to-
I'm saying? Like you're gonna mimic who you saw in that cool.
Anthony
Right?
D, are the Delphonics cool or did they have swag?
The Delphonics had both.
No, the Delphonics was
The
cool.
Delphonics
bro.
had the Delphonics had both because the Delphonics had the lyrical
Did
content
New Edition have cool? Did the New Edition have swag or were they cool?
swag.
No, man, they was cool, bro.
Swag.
Come on, bro. They
Swag.
was cool.
Swag because here they mimicked what they saw, which was the Temptations. They didn't know nothing about cool per se. They were just mimicking, just like us. At some point in time, we mimicked. Like my best dude when I was like from like 14 up. That man could talk to a woman for like 6 straight hours without water. He could just literally stand there, and I was like his sidekick until like every woman every girl he knew had a friend. So I got to look at him. It's like in the movie Coolie High with Cochise and his man. My best dude was Cochise. He was in the corner pulling the bra off while I'm watching him trying to understand how he got to the bra. How he was able to get to that. So it's these parts of mimicking that we figure. And I remember reading Iceberg Slim. And this is nothing to put women down and stuff like that.
Right. No,
But when you hear the verbiage and how he's just totally just putting his game down, it's like, what is this man talking about? So it's a certain level of mimicking until you get to that point.
Yeah, but I think I just want to say something about cool and swagger. I just think being cool was just being cool, man. I wasn't necessarily a thing to be like a thing for the ladies. Like you could have been cool and just been a good ball player. Anything. You could being cool is just being your best young male self, I believe. You know, and being swaggered, I think that was more towards, you know, we trying to find something more. We trying to enhance our coolness to another level where we like, yo, look, I'm cool, yeah, but look, I could, you know, I don't know, I can't explain it correctly, but I'm just saying, like, it's a feeling, like, yeah, you was cool, you had a bunch of friends in school, and yeah, you know, that didn't necessarily mean, you know, anybody was checking for you, but once you got that swagger, girls was looking at you because they didn't understand it, because swagger, I think, it's a more mature thing. And at that time, you had some swagger, and girls was like, oh, you know, you're changing, you're becoming more calm, you know, you're not so hype, and you know, that's just my little soliloquy on that.
Well, you know what? I just wanted to jump in real quick, Freezy. I hope you don't mind, because when you were telling your story about how you used to put your Mac down with these young shorties, my life was a lot different growing up. So for me, the essence of becoming cool or getting that cool and even developing in swag came with age and time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? When I was young, like when I came out the womb, I was a really cute baby. That's right. I said it. I was a good looking baby.
You better own that. Own it.
I was, brother. I was. But as I got a little older, you know, you go into those in between years from baby to maybe close to junior high, and then getting into junior high. I can see when I look back, I look at pictures of myself that I don't have many, but I look back at my old pictures. I ain't have it. I wasn't it. So now I could understand why the girls wasn't really checking for me. I remember one day in elementary school, first grade.
You just didn't understand your strong suits at that point.
Well, you know what? I was a kid being a kid. I used to have fun doing stuff. I wasn't really thinking too much about being that way.
Exactly.
But
We were just trying to get dirty and play ball.
right,
and
exactly,
roll
exactly.
around. And I had a girlfriend. one time, man.
I used to be the same. I used to be that kid. Like, all right, cool. Everybody playing basketball. So I'm gonna play tetherball. Like, just leave me alone.
Right,
Like, I'm
right.
just over here to the side, just by myself or whatever. I was that same way. Every example, right, that has been given so far has been like beautiful samples. Once again, you know, these conversations are always great to have, especially with a panel like this. As I look, as I get to the age that I'm at 32 years old, right, and I reflect on my upbringing. I even just, you know, listening to the anecdotal conversations that we're having here amongst each other, it looks like every form of this has always been a way to monetize an interaction. When you look at every which way, when you go back to, like, say, like, you know, a man proposing to a woman, right? That whole concept didn't become a thing until the 1930s, right? And why was that a thing until the 1930s? Because we just came out of a Great Depression. We needed some form of monetary wealth in order to expand the market. Diamonds was a great way to expand the market and expand the monetary wealth of society. So if you're able to put into the idea of people, hey, if you spend money on a diamond ring, it has value later on in life, bop, 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 bop. Same thing when you're trying to court someone, take them out to a date. You know, even now when you look at it, Freezy talked about paying for her lunch in school. That's still a form of monetization. So it just feels like to me that all of these interactions, right? And as technology advances and as the world gets bigger and everything just gets faster and prettier and shinier, that is just going to always be a way to monetize our wealth, monetize our interaction. Look right now what's going on. You got the metaverse that's being built, right? The metaverse is being built. And one of the ideas that's being pitched is blind dating services in the metaverse.
I don't want a blind date, bro. I want to see somebody that's fine. And I'm married, bro. I'm out of the game now. Right? I've been out of the game for like 30 years, right? But the thing is, but the deal is to me, the challenge of seeing somebody that's fine, right? Getting to them, right? Speaking to them and getting them to buy into you, right? Because because before you even stepped over there, you imagined what it would be like being with that person. Not married, you know what I'm saying? But whatever type of togetherness you imagine. Because if you didn't think it would work, you wouldn't go over there, right? Like with I was G-Man was here because AD, did we share the Janet Jackson story already?
Hey, Uncle
Yes.
Free, you consider that like to a situation like fight or flight, like maybe not necessarily the same, like say you might see a big old goon over there, like, oh man. But then you might have to go fight him, like to get, to just get through that. Like whatever.
Right.
Like I'm gonna step up to that because that's how you might have looked at the finest girl, no?
Right. That's how it was with Latanya on Fulton Street. Like Fulton Street had a bunch of dudes. Like back in the day, it wasn't about guns or even razors. It was about fists, right?
Right.
And I was like, man, do I really want to go over here and fight the whole street over this girl? No, I don't. I'm not going over there by myself. So I'll catch her at school where it's safe, right? And so I would see her, like you remember in school, like one sixth grade class would be going this way to say Mr. Smith class, and the other one be going that way to Mr. Williams class. And I see her in line, and she'll have her books and she'll just like do a little wave or whatever, right? And I'll wave back. But we always was like passing en route. It was always, we could never be in the same place at the same time to say stuff to each other, right? Because like, and I'm not knocking AD's strategy, right? But with me, I never wanted to write a 12-page letter. and then try to pass it from hand to hand to her to make sure she
Yeah,
got it.
you should
That
spray
was
the cologne
five.
on it too.
That was
You could
that was
spray, you
5
spray the
pages.
cologne on your you spray the cologne on your letter too.
Right? Yeah,
Make sure
yeah.
they
You got
smell
your cologne smelling like cool water. Nah, bro. Nah, I never wanted to do. I never wanted to do that. Because I used to watch movies back in the, like, for instance, I used to watch Billy D. Williams and Sidney Poitier get in front of a woman and say the smoothest shit you ever heard in your life, right? Like they would legit just like in that moment, they would just say the smoothest thing you ever heard, and you know it was their words because you know back then writers wasn't right. There were no Goonie writers as smooth as Sidney Poitier. Are you serious?
Can't forget about those R&B intros back then, man.
Right,
They
right.
used to talk that talk right there.
Right, Cash. I just wanted to basically. I just wanted to talk my talk, bro. I just legit. Sin Miz was good.
Salute, salute.
Matter of fact, yo. Since Sin Miz is here, I'm gonna take a short intro, a short something.
Intermission.
Yeah, it's like 60 seconds. I want everybody to check this out, man. Something that me and my man Sin Miz worked on. All right, here you go. Yo, that's a little something from a main man, Sin Miz. He is the owner of Who Made the Kale in Roosevelt, New York.
Dope,
they do
dope.
catering, meal prep, dine-in meals. It's a vegan establishment, high quality. They make everything from scratch. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing my main man, Sin Miz. What's good, Sin Miz?
Salute.
Salute,
everybody.
my guy.
Everybody.
Salute, bro.
Appreciate you, Unc. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man.
So, man, we need you out here, especially with these food deserts that we all live in, bro.
Yeah, man. So how the brother?
Oh, I think his
he
thing
might
is
have
frozen.
Oh, he froze.
Definitely,
Oh, no,
There he is.
He's coming back.
the Matrix got you, bro.
Right.
There
That's what happens.
That's what happens when you're trying to spread positivity.
You know? Salute. Absolutely. But like I was saying, it's the only place I want to be, man. In these deserts amongst the people, amongst us, man. Making sure we eating good, we living good, and eating it better. You understand? With soul and a nice flavor to it. So you make sure you want to eat it forever. So.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hey.
Man.
So, just real quick before we get back to the topic of conversation, how long has Who Made the Kale been in business?
So Who Made the Kale has been in business, I want to say officially, LLC, then licensed about a year, but I've been cooking for the last 16, 17 years and vegan 8 years.
Okay. So what was your inspiration behind the restaurant itself and the name? Because the name make me laugh, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Every time I see it, the name make me laugh.
So the inspiration behind the business itself, the vegan business, is she's very proactive in learning about new things to eat, the healthier ways to eat, and it just. She's on it. I'm 100% behind her, and it's very how can I say, essential as Black people, essential as minorities, because we're being attacked on every level and food is the main level, one of the main levels that we're being attacked on. So it was just something about taking ownership, taking authority over myself, and taking authority over us, and kind of sneaking something good in there too as well. So I just felt bad about still selling meat and cooking meat for people, and all the butter and all of the seasoning. See what I'm saying? So
Right.
it was about giving something back to us, and in the same way, being able to make a living. And who made the kills, because name itself that's one of my signature dishes. Like that's one of the first things I started to do as a vegan. Kale is one of the superfoods that you need in your life. You could live off of kale and avocado for months, just kale and avocado. It has protein, fiber. A lot of people don't know about its protein content. And so it's just about like, hey, like, and I needed something catchy as well. So who made the kill?
Yeah, just the name
There
make
you
me
go.
laugh,
Dope
bro.
name.
And
Nah,
when
that's a dope
I was
name.
typing it on the thing, and I hope you like the commercial, bro. I'm gonna try to continue to run it if it's up to you, if you like it.
Listen, brother, beggars can't be choosers. I feel like it was amazing. Like I said, I appreciate you. I appreciate the platform. I appreciate everything you do. Like I love it. Honestly, it's my first commercial. So
Yo, so as men, you know, we have this weird thing of doing what we say we gonna do, right? You can't trust everybody to do what they say they gonna do. You know what I'm
it's the
saying?
bare
And
minimum.
right,
Mhm.
and me as a man, I like to help support everybody that's within's arm's reach, right? Some people outside of my arm's reach, I can't help them, right? That's not my fault because my arms are only so long, right? But everybody in arm's reach that I can help, I try to help them. And I start by integrity, like always being myself, right? Like being somebody that's trustworthy, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna ever be or try to be something that I'm not. I'm always Uncle Freezy 24/7, bro. This is just who I am. So when I tell you I'm gonna try to do something, Simmons, you know you my man. You know I'm absolutely gonna be there. If I can't do it, I'm like, nah, bro, I can't help you right now. I just got a full plate, right?
Call me
But
Sin.
Absolutely,
Sorry.
absolutely.
I missed
But
some of the conversation. Sin, you were saying you had a restaurant?
So right now it's online based, Instagram based, but it's online based. But I have I want to say online restaurant.
Right.
Yeah, so it's a catering private food business. It's all broken down all the way to meals, singular meals. I do I have teas. I have wellness things as far as elderberry syrup, sea moss, alkaline sea moss, immune shots as well. So it's a little bit of everything I got going on. I deliver to Brooklyn and Queens. So
Sin,
yeah, man.
you gonna have to
Yes,
come
sir.
touch my sea moss before
Yes.
you put yours out there, killer. Cause I make the best sea moss out here in the land. Stop playing.
I'm gonna deal with the young boy. I'm gonna deal with the young boy. Sin, like, you know,
I mean,
as soon as you're available, bro.
oh
I'm
nah,
in
like
Queens.
you got my math in the chat. Hold on, I don't want to skip over AD. I don't want to skip over AD real quick. I don't want to skip over that. I hear you, big bro. I don't doubt that. I know you. You know you from Jamaica. And no, like my
I
thing
just
comes
made
from
a batch. I just
Jamaican
made a
food.
batch last night.
Now
And
we
it's alkaline.
advertising. You don't want me to.
And I'm alkaline. So the sea moss is alkaline.
Absolutely.
And,
okay.
it's made with to give you a little backstory. Alkaline is like
So how
top
y'all
tier
fellas feel
of
about
vegan
like
or plant based.
the vegan women, like the natural vegan women that don't shave their armpit hairs or their legs and none of that?
Okay.
Go ahead. I mean, I listen.
I honestly don't know what to say after that, bro.
Hold up, because that's because you got to get your chop low on.
No, here. I'm out that conversation.
Right. So
Can
hey,
I?
so just want to ease on to what we talked about so we can include Sinmiz. And I'll probably have to wrap up in like the next 20 minutes or so. And I got a couple questions that I want to ask y'all just real quick, right? So Sinmiz, what we have been talking about is the different like basically the cool. Like the difference between being cool and having swagger. And if one impacts your people more than the other. And
Okay.
in my explanation of cool, and this is just Uncle Freezy explanation of the cool of cool, is it's a personal confidence that you have that you don't never let people rock your spot. You always maintain control of everything around you, so you don't lose your cool. You know what I'm saying? Whereas swag, to me, and this is just me because the panelists disagree with me. Swagger is when you have stuff, when you have cars and or money or jewelry, and it helps you look better to people on the outside, right? And that's just my opinion of it, right?
Okay.
So I'm asking you, are people cool anymore?
So first, let me answer your first question. Is it a difference, and does that difference help or hurt the community? The cool, I feel like, is the confidence that you just born with. You either got it or you don't. You either was. It's almost like integrity. You was raised with it, or you weren't.
Right.
And like you said, it's not even a bravado. It's just is. It's that confidence and security in knowing self. That confidence and security in knowing what you are, who you are, and what you bring to the table, to the world. And that can be confused with swag, I would say, right?
Right.
Because people want that. People want what you that cool, that confidence, that, and most people who try to get that end up with just having swag or just having the looks of it, the bravado, the shiny things, and that kind of does hurt the community, like, because we're striving for things that are not we're striving for the look of the things and not the foundation of it, the root of it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And do people have that anymore? Absolutely. I'm here. To me, like, I feel like not even the confidence. I don't like to even say the cool. It's just the confidence of self. Like, I feel like most black men today, we do have that, but sometimes we got to be able to sit back and identify. Is it the cool or the swag, and is it hurting our community as a whole just to be cool or to be swaggy?
Yeah, Sin, I think just as a culture, some brothers are just naturally cool just from being from the soil that we from or the neighborhoods or whatever. Like it just falls on us. And it's also, I look at cool also like, if I was a kid, I might look at the new Hot Wheels set like, oh, that kid is cool. Or he got a new MP3 player. That kid is cool right there. But I consider swagger more so an energy, because like when you put the ER on there, it's like a I forget the proper. It's like a verb, like
It
you a
becomes active.
dancer, you know what I'm saying? Like you got that swagger, like you moving around and you touching people and you walking around and you looking up, you keeping your head up, your shoulders squared, and you got that swagger, and women is seeing that and they respecting that. Versus cool is like, okay, you could be cool with your nice car over there or whatever, but if you can't step out that car and you walking bow-legged or you tripping over rocks and shit, like I don't think that,
I feel you. I think it's like I think it's want to say, what is this? Subjective is the word I'm looking for. Like,
Mhm.
it's to each of our experiences and each to our, like you said, like neighborhood or growing up, like, because swag to me, I mean, it's easily just switching around both of the
Right.
definitions.
It's
You know, it's as
interchangeable.
simple.
It's
It's as
interchangeable. Yeah.
simple. It's as simple as that. It's just which one you identify more with. Nah, I didn't grow up on cool. I grew up on swag. So you would just identify more with swag. You see what I'm
Like
saying?
me growing up, cool was a thing. Like Ninja Turtles was cool. Like every
Yeah,
cartoon,
nah,
all that stuff
absolutely.
was cool. But when swag came, it was
At the
like
same
that
time,
was
you tapped in. At the same time, you tapped into the younger. You tapped into a little bit more to the younger side as well. So that you get with that, so you get swag. You understand it. It's more of a vibe and a feeling attached to it. Like, because some people may break down to the etymology of it. You see what I'm saying? And
so. One
more so,
question
we going
said,
off the
did
vibe.
you ever consider swagger to be a physical thing, like associated with like the things you have?
I mean, so in the definition I gave, then in the definition I gave, yeah, right.
Okay.
But neither one of them is that would be the extreme of it though. That's not
Because that is the
the
definition.
basis.
That
That's
is
not
the
the
definition
basis of
because
it.
they got like they got Hollywood swag bags and they give them like stuff and all of that like that. But I
Right.
think
It's
we had our
appropriation.
own
Yeah.
we had our own thing, in the town. Like I'm talking about diplomats. Like when I
Yeah,
started getting in
yeah,
tune with
yeah.
swagger, it was like Max B and stuff like that.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's why I say it comes more to the culture because it goes back before us. There's nothing new under the sun. You can hear Clyde saying it on MSG, like
He
they
had some
older
swagger.
generations too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So is Clyde
yeah, right.
Clyde cool or is Clyde swaggy?
He got both to me. He got cool and he got swag.
All
So
that.
that makes you legendary. If you got both,
Yeah.
you
Clyde is the
legendary.
man.
Yeah.
Let me tell you
See what I'm
something.
saying?
The
Clyde is from the
swag,
South, but from New York.
right? The swag
Yeah.
is the way he puts together his appearance, who he is, the way his style, his flow. The cool is I'm gonna go out in 20-degree weather with my swag on, with no jacket. I could just walk like that because you gotta be a certain type of cat to walk outside wearing the type of outfits Clyde wears with no jacket.
Right.
He's so cool that the cold don't affect him. That's how cool he was and still is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's a cool brother. Actually, that's a cold brother.
That's because he's not wearing a
That's
jacket.
a cold.
That's
Right,
because he
right.
wasn't wearing a jacket. He was wearing a full length mink with his name inside of the
Right. Right.
Yeah, because I say that because just going back because I remember this has nothing to do with nothing, but I remember watching the Clyde story, the little interview he had on MSG in that series, and when he was actually in the street walking around the city wearing that mink coat, and he said, "I rarely ever wear a mink coat. I'm wearing it for this, but a lot of times I don't wear a coat at all." So I was like,
Right.
"Okay, Clyde."
It was still snow on the ground. I saw it. Yeah.
That's swag. That's energy.
Let
That's
me
energy.
let me ask a question. For you, like I mentioned earlier, and we can go around the table with this. Who is the epitome of cool for you? Whether it was somebody was close, who was that dude or those collection of dudes that you point to and be like, yo, that dude right there, that dude was it.
Man, Jackie Wilson. Billy
Max
D.
Julian.
Williams.
Max Julian.
Yep, Billy D. Williams, bro, and Lady Sings the Blues, where he was at the top of the staircase, bro.
Yo,
Bro,
AD.
you can't. That's a poster right there, bro.
Ooh, who you said,
Max
Cash?
Julian. Max Julian, man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that Freezy said my guy. It would have been Billy D, man. You want my hand to fall off? That's it. That's all I gotta see. All right, brother. Okay, now.
For me, it
Who
was.
you guys consider the coolest in today's age that's running around today?
Wait. Let him finish though. Let him go around.
No, I was gonna say for me, it'd have been my older brother.
Nice.
Because
that's dope.
My older brother kind of, like I said, dudes mimic and promote the dudes. Like, we really knew pimps and dudes who was players back then. Like, there was a dude that had a Rolls Royce on the top of my block. He had a gray and burgundy Rolls Royce. I didn't know he was a pimp at the time. I just knew that every time he came outside and we saw him, I didn't realize that men could have nails longer and cleaner than women. Right?
Mhm.
Right.
His game, his swag, his cool, everything was just like the way he stepped. Like, he didn't open his car door, his women opened the car door.
Right.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It was just that kind of thing.
That's energy, Mr. AD.
Yeah.
When I go get my situation situated or my feet or whatever, these girls, they run to me. They open the door. They be like, I'm gonna give them a good tip. They just like, yo, oh man, and we talk all day, and it's just comfortability. Swagger is also comfortability, being comfortable who you are, and just rolling around in that sense of manhood that, like, you understand where women are and men are, and you understand
Because women,
where pain and pleasure is.
because
you find
women,
the medium and all of that.
because women, for no fault of their own, are intimidating. You ever known a bad chick, right? And you start talking or whatever, she ain't got no man. She sit at home. She going out.
I got two big sisters, right? And they was like very popular, whatever. So I used to always think as a little dude, like, these friends was my girlfriends, and they used to do this thing, like, they used to play with me and act like that's what it was and all of that. But I started, after a while, like, I started getting out the shower, putting my robe on when they was coming over, like, yo, you know what? But it's just that, as you were saying, AD, as far as fear, man.
And guys, because you look at a woman, and in your mind, we all have certain type of women that we like in our mind, and then all of a sudden she appears, and that knot in your throat, outside of Uncle Freezy, that knot in your throat is like you can't even swallow, right?
Yeah.
And she's the nicest person in the world, but because she has an hourglass figure, smell like feel of flowers, nails done, toes done, clothes is crazy.
Oh Lord. Mm-hmm.
And so AD, let me, Cash, let me jump in right here, just real quick. All right, y'all don't go nowhere. I got to do something real quick. So this moment is what I'm talking about. So AD gave the perfect example of what happens when you are not cool, right? Because the moment gets too big for you, right? And I'm glad AD, I'm gonna just use this moment here just real quick to retell the Janet Jackson story, right? I'm gonna just do this real quick. I'm gonna try to do it in 2 minutes and bring everybody else back in, right? So a few years ago, I was stationed at Fort Hood, Texas, right? I used to box. I was on the post boxing team, right? Used to give them dudes them hands, and they used to give them back, right? So what happened is I got popular around post, so popular that when I came back to the barracks, it would be ladies asleep by my door. They'd be waiting on me for so long, they fell asleep, right? And listen, I'm Uncle Freezy, right? I'm not used to this kind of stuff. I'm like, hey, what y'all doing here by my door? They're like, yo, we was waiting for you to come back. We needed some, they talking, whatever. They need some company and whatever, you know what I'm saying, whatever, right? So I get this reputation around Fort Hood for, representing the post boxing team. All my boys, they coming out there, they getting crunk. You know what I'm saying? They like, yeah, Uncle Freezy, this. And so when you're 20 years old or whatever it is, like all of us in like 19, 20, 21, whatever, you know what I'm saying? We just hanging out, kicking it. You know what I'm saying? We don't understand the moment, right? So this girl, like what AD said, I had been trying to holler. Every now and then I'll see her at the PX and I'll say something to her. She'll be like, no, you're not my type of guy, right? I'm like, you're the type of guy? Okay, whatever. So I get these tickets to this thing called the Budweiser Superfest. And basically what it was a tour of the hottest black acts at the time, right? At the time, I think it might have been New Edition, Bobby Brown, Guy, R. Kelly, Aaliyah, and some others. I get these tickets. This dude just gave them to me. He like, hey, Uncle Freezy, I appreciate you, man. Let me hang out with you here. Take these tickets. I look at section 1. Like it's like I'm sorry, row 1, section 1. So I'm right up front. I'm like, okay, dude, just give me some tickets. I'm right up front. These tickets, and this is like 1989, 88, 89, 90, something like that, whatever it is. 90, whatever it is. I can't remember exactly. Right? And so I never forget this lady, Lisa Fisher, I think her name was singing her song, and all the girls was racing up front trying to mimic, oh, we love Lisa Fisher, and something else. And so I take the girl that was turning me down, right? The girl that kept turning me down. I'm like, yo, I got these tickets. Do you want to go? She was like, hell yeah, I want to go. So me and her ride, I got a raggedy car. I'm driving like a 1978 something or whatever, raggedy as hell. Right? Right? The car raggedy, and it smelled like my homeboys was smoking Black and Milds in it. Right? And no matter how much I cleaned it, because that's what it was. It was the whip for me to ride my boys around in. So we go. Right? And then Guy comes on stage and performs. And this girl that I'm with, she's scratching me up, trying to scratching me up. Like, trying to, whatever, so I pick her up and I put her on my shoulder so she can see. I don't know why we was in the front row, but whatever. So Guy is performing and Aaron Hall is singing all this stuff. And so Guy goes off stage, right? And a fight breaks out, right? Well, the next act, and they had these black gates, because this is outside. This is an outside venue, right? This is an outside venue, everybody. This is like a field where you got stages stacked up and, people go from one to the other. And so Guy is leaving the stage and these girls are trying to chase Guy back. They bust down the barricade and trying to get to Guy, right? So it's like this big log jam. And I'm standing here by this black gate, and this dude in front of me looks like he's about 7 foot tall, about 350 pounds, a bodyguard with a black shirt on that says security. He right there in front of me. And I'm like, what's up, Bubba? He's like, don't come across this gate. I'm like, bro, you better watch how you talking to me, bro. I am nice with these hands. And he like, come across this gate and we'll see, right? And so what happens is some people get on stage. He takes off to go on stage. And right in front of me, about 3 feet away, is Janet Jackson. No bodyguards, no nothing. There's a black gate in front of me that's separating us. And she looks at me and she sucks her teeth like, oh. And she turned around like with her arms folded. If you could imagine poetic justice, Janet, just look at a random dude, Uncle Freezy, and she turn around and do this. Oh. And I'm like, hey, Miss Jackson. And she like laughed. She laughed because she get the joke, right? I'm a random dude basically asking her if she nasty because I heard her song. It's Janet. Miss Jackson, if you nasty, right? Now, if you ain't never heard the song, you won't get it, right? So She's right there. She like giggle a little bit. And I'm like, yo, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I don't know if we'll ever get the chance to meet each other again. But if you got some game, you better spit it right now because I'm not going to be here for long. And she laughs. She laughed, right? Like, ha, ha, ha. Right? And she turned around because she know that I'm trying to holler at her, right? So I'm like, Janet, listen. It's a million dudes out here that would love to have you. But I got a raggedy car that's parked about 1.5 miles down this thing. If you would like it, man, we can go get in my raggedy car and go somewhere and have a conversation. And so her big bodyguard showed back up like, hey, Miss Jackson, you all right? And I'm like, yo, it's Janet, fool. Don't be calling her no Miss Jackson, it's Janet. And so Janet, she giggle again, right? Right? Then my homeboy Brown shows up from out of the blue, sees me talking to Janet Jackson, and he has a meltdown. He's like, Uncle Freezy talking to Janet! Uncle Freezy talking to Janet! I'm like, calm down, bro. Don't mess this moment up for everybody, right? So he go and get the rest of the dudes in my platoon, right? And they see me trying to holler at Janet, right? And so the big bodyguard put his hands on my chest and pushed me away. Get out of here! And he sweeps Janet off, and I never ever get to see her again, right? Right? But Ron, you know what happens when we get back to the barracks?
What's that?
So my homeboy is like, yo, I saw Uncle Freezy trying to holler at Janet Jackson, and he was up there stuttering, like, I can't believe. And I'm like, yo, if you're gonna tell a story, B, tell a story right. How you gonna, AD, how you gonna come back and add lies to the story? Right? You know what I did, AD? Listen, when I was there, and this is how I learned that no matter what happens, I'll always be cool be in the moment. The moment will never get too big for me, right? Because a 7 foot tall, 350-pound dude walks or runs on stage to stop people from getting on stage, and Janet Jackson is 4 feet away from me. And the first thing I say is, hey, Miss Jackson, trying to give her the hint that I heard her song, right? She knows I probably heard the song. You know what I'm saying? The song probably sold like 10 million copies. But in that moment, I'm sorry, y'all. In that moment, though, I had spit my game. Like it was a once in a million type situation. And instead of me having the lump in my throat or getting nervous or any of that stuff, I felt like I had to take advantage of the opportunity. Did I get Janet number? No. But I can tell y'all with a straight face on a stack of Bibles that Uncle Freezy hollered at Janet and made her laugh. Now, am I her baby daddy? No. You know what I'm saying? But the opportunity was there, and I took it because I was cool, and I didn't use swagger. So
but here's the thing.
That's how Jermaine Dupri did it. Damn it!
But here's
that's how he did it.
Dog it, Jermaine Dupri.
But here's the thing, though, Uncle Freezy.
And I told that story just now, and Miss Mocha heard it and got mad and walked off, by the way.
No.
That's because she's heard you tell it before. And that's the warning sign.
1,000 times.
But here's the thing, Uncle Freezy. There's only one thing that I know of besides the sight of the amount of money that you've never seen before that can really do that to somebody. And that's the power of a woman. That's the power of the imagery that's in your head that suddenly is in your face.
Bro, AD, you have never seen a woman as fine as Janet Jackson, bro, in person. I swear to God. I swear, bro. Women are fine, man. Women are beautiful creatures, bro. I love them. I love them so much. I married one. You know what I'm saying? So here's the thing, though. Like, bro, there are not many Janet Jacksons walking around, bro. And my homeboy, which was my roommate, though, it was, you know, 2 of us or 3 of us, and we roomed together in the barracks. Yo, don't you know we stayed up all night long talking about that Janet Jackson thing?
Now,
He's
Freezy,
like-
I want to ask you a question, Freezy, but really and truly, I really want to ask Miss Mocha this, and it's not disrespectful,
Right.
of course, because it never would be. Were you cool when you were saying "I do"?
Yes. Because I knew that I wanted to be there. It was something that I had anticipated. Right.
Okay.
This is something that I had anticipated. Now, where I did lose my cool, where I was not myself, is when I saw babies being born. And it wasn't the act of babies being born. It was the fact that you watch a baby be born and you know that's your kid. So your life is different. So I was not cool in that moment because it was something. I could always go get a new girlfriend, but you can't get, you know what I'm saying, for the most part, you know, the thing about the kids and all that stuff.
I feel like that's the epitome of cool, man. Having kids, being a father, that confidence, that protection, that providership, that's the alpha male right there. That's when the alpha kicks in right there. Like, that's the epitome of cool and swag. Like, you don't need nothing else. That's why most men, like, when we become dads or when they become dads, it's like everything else is devoted to that. Some people, like they said, they call it dad bod. You let yourself go a little bit. You start to, and you know what? I see where the woman even goes more into them, love them even more. Like, it's a whole different level type of love. So, definitely.
Right. Hey, y'all, listen, man. I'm getting short on time, man. I would love for this thing to go on for longer, bro. This swag conversation to me, the cool to me is a conversation. See, it's what it is when you start talking about the cool, you kind of muddy the waters a little bit, and sometimes the lines get blurred with especially when people talk about different experiences and such. But listen, man, I'm a wrap right here, and only because, you know, we got a bunch of stuff. You know, the Knicks play in a few minutes. You know, we got to do some prep work and all that stuff for all of that.
Yes,
but listen, I want to extend an open invite to everybody, man, so that we can continue to do this and invite y'all to create topics that y'all would want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? And then that way we can have this panel open so that we can discuss whatever it is, as long as it's respectable to most people. You know what I'm saying? We can kind of do this more frequently. Anybody got anything that they want to throw out there before we get out of here?
Since my man Sin Mears got the new jump off, Eat to Live. That's a topic right there. Let's get it.
Eat to live. That's what we got to do, bro.
Not live to eat. Yeah.
Sin Mears, you want to do that next week? Eat to live. Is that what we talk about next week?
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay.
Great convo. Just want to say peace and blessings and prayers goes to Amir Locke and to Amir Locke's family. Rest in peace, Amir Locke.
Oh, no doubt. Rest in peace, bro. Rest in peace. All right, well, I'm gonna get out of here, but let me first do this. Make sure everybody watching, Hector has a channel for the Love of the Game, for OUR, the Love of the Game. Make sure you check it out and subscribe to it. They have interesting conversations. I legit listened to them the whole show last night. I wasn't able to jump in, but I listened to Hard will be bugging with that little glass, bro. I started to jump in there and just clown him about that little glass he was drinking out of last night.
That is, Freestyle Friday, Sibby Cup Friday. My boy Hard will always be having a good drink with him.
Yeah, man. No doubt. And shout out to Ron from Still Knicks Fans. Still Knicks Fans is a YouTube channel, mostly talking about the Knicks, but they also cover the NBA. Sometimes also make sure you check out Ron, John, and Jose. They do a great job. Their channel is growing exponentially. Make sure you jump on that train early because they are gonna be something. Shout out to Sin Mears, who's doing his thing on social media. Staffa Don,
yes,
NBA 101 tomorrow at 4:00. And make sure you check out Anthony D. With one of the best shows on YouTube. Old School Knicks tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Bim!
He and I will be together for Old School Knicks tomorrow. Make sure that y'all tune in and check that out. God bless everybody going forward. I'm hoping everybody paths will be stone free and smooth. And I will holler at y'all later.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.